5 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So, as we all know, the main basic things that we are going to cover today are two. First of all, we'll be doing some questions, sample questions of internal assessment. And secondly, we'll be dealing with some programs, right? Some Python programs that are easier and as just to give you a hands-on on the code because you all are lacking on that itself. So just give me a moment to record the class. Okay. So once again, good afternoon. In case you find any problem, you can stop me in between. Okay. So if you find that my screen is not visible or I'm not audible, just let me know. So आज हम first of all we will revise some questions that are MCQ based questions that are basically for your IU. And what I want is I want you all to participate. On my screen, you can see there is a like I have put it some 60 questions compiled in 60 questions for you. So to give you a flavor of what kind of questions are expected in IU. So here you can see I have a question, then we have options, and you can, you can participate and tell me that what exactly is the correct option as per you. So starting from first, the question is in Python, which symbol is used for single line comment? So any guesses?
Ma'am, hash B.
Yes, B. Perfect. So this is what we use for single line comment. Next, what is the correct way to indicate a block of code in Python? How do you indicate a block of code in Python? When we accumulate, when we club a line of statement together. So what is the way to indicate a block of code in Python? For example, lines that will be a part of if block or lines that will be a part of a function. How do we define that? ये lines is function का part है या इस for loop का part है. Indentation से right? So we define that using colon indentation. We give colon right and indentation to describe that this particular set of statement is a part of this function. Next is how do you declare a variable in Python? How do we declare a variable in Python? To declare a variable in Python, we just have to write the name of the variable and we have to give the value. So here you can see we do not write any keyword like where or int. So in all these options, option B is correct. As you can see here, where is written, so this is not correct. Here int is written, so this is again not correct. And here you can see that it is double equals to. So double equals to is not the assignment operator, it is a comparison operator. Hence, x equals to 5, that is option B is the right. Okay. So the next question is, what does the print function do in Python? क्या करता है print function? Yes, print function displays the output. Next is which of the following is not a data type in Python? So we have certain data types. Which of them is not a data type in Python? So you can see we have integer, we have float, we have boolean, we have real. So in Python, we have these data types available: integer, float, and boolean. Real is not a data type. We represent real numbers using float data type. So this is the correct option. Okay, this is not a data type in Python. So you have to basically rule out the wrong options and you will get the right option if you are confused. Otherwise, if you know the right answer, that's well and good. Next is what is the output of the following code? So you have a line of code in which x equals to 5. So x has been assigned the value 5, y equals to 2, and you have to print x into y. So tell me, what is the correct answer for this?
A.
Option A.
A.
No,
That is
ma'am.
no. किसने बोला?
Ma'am,
महिमा.
इसमें 5 inverted commas में, so then also it will be like multiplication.
No, Mahima, bilkul perfect. You are saying very perfect. So since 5 is given in inverted commas, that means 5 will be treated as a string and not as a number. So
Yes,
when
ma'am.
it is treated as a string, so 5 into 2, the multiplication operator will simply double it, right? So whatever is the string, it will get repeated. So it will show me 5, 5, 55. Okay, so the correct option is C. So you have to carefully see that what exactly is the data type. अगर आप वैसे 5 into 10 लिख देंगे, that is not the correct answer. You have to clearly see the data type that is associated with the variable. Next is, which of the following is correct way to concatenate two strings? So you have been given 4 lines. You have to find out which of the following is the correct way to concatenate two strings. दो string को हमें इकट्ठे concatenate करना है. So which option is correct out of 4?
B.
Option B.
B. Very good. So the concatenation operator for strings is plus. And this I explained that basically plus is an overloaded operator. If you pass two string, plus will concatenate both of them and give you the answer. If you pass numbers to plus, it will add them and give you the answer. Okay, so same plus hai, but it works differently if the data type is different. Next is, what is the output of the following code? So you have been given a code segment and you have to find out the output of this code.
A. Ma'am, it's A.
A. Anyone else? Is everyone able to get the answer? A is the correct answer, definitely, because we have given the value of x as 5. And then we are checking if x is greater than 2. Since we have given the value x equals to 5, as soon as we move to the next line, it compares the value of x. Value of x is 5. So it will compare if 5 is greater than 2. So 5 is greater than 2 will return you true. So if you get true, definitely इस statement में जब true आ जाता है, so whatever we have written as a part of if block that gets executed. So here, if x equals x greater than 2 is true, that means the very first statement print x is greater than 2 will get displayed. So A is the correct option, right? If it had been false, that means suppose the condition was x is less than 2. So in that case, since this is false, so my else block would have executed and the answer that I would have got is x is not greater than 2 in case my if is false. So if then कैसे काम करता है? If the condition is true, this block of code will execute. Otherwise, next block of code will execute. Okay, question number 9. What is the output of the following code? X equals to 5 and you need to print type of x. You have to give the type of x.
A.
A.
A, yes, perfect. So the type of x is integer because we know that this is integer. Suppose if I would have given this in inverted commas, then what would have been the type of x?
C. C.
Good.
Ma'am,
Yes.
C.
Perfect. And if I had given it 5.0, 5.0, then the data type of A would have been float. Okay? Yes, perfect. Next is, what does the append method do in Python? Append method क्या करता है? ये हमने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ पाइथन में पढ़ा है जिसमें हमने लिस्ट टपल सेट्स पढ़े हुए हैं. ए अपेंड का काम होता है अपेंड करना. अपेंड करते हैं ना हम किसी चीज में ऐड करते हैं. सो बेसिकली अपेंड मेथड अपेंड्स द डेटा टू द adds any element to the end of the list. So जो भी current value of the list है उसके end में वो value add कर देगा. So A is the correct option. Next is, what is the output of the following code? So again, I have a code in which I have a list with the name my list. The current value in the list is 1, 2, and 3, and you have to find out. Basically, you have to append this 4 to this list. You have to append my list with the value 4, and then you have to print my list. So since I have called my list dot append 4, so this will execute and append my current list and then print it. So what is the answer basically?
B. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What does the for loop do in Python?
Ma'am, A.
Okay, so the basically for loop iterates over a sequence of elements. ठीक है ना? For loop का काम क्या है? It iterates over a sequence of elements. So we may give a list, a range, or anything like that. हम list, dictionary, tuple, set. We can provide anything inside the for loop, and the for loop will take items one by one, and then it will iterate over the items and do whatever you have suggested in the body of the for loop. So the basic work is to iterate over a sequence of elements. It does perform a specific number of operations, but this is done by every module. हम function लिखते हैं वो भी specific number of operations करता है. So the basic functionality is it to iterate over a sequence of elements. Now let's come to question number 13. What is the output of the following code? And now I want somebody else to give answer. Maybe Dipali or Komal can tell me the answer of question number 13. What is the output of the following code? Dipali, Komal, are you there in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So tell me the answer. You have to, for I in range 3, you have to print I. Basically, you have a loop for I in range 3. So you have to tell me that how this loop will work. Batao Dipali, how it's gonna work? What exactly the I loop will do? Since I have given I a range of 3, that means it will start from 0 and it will go till 3. So what it will print? It will print 0, 1, 2 and
0,
3.
1. Ma'am, 0, 1 and 2 now.
Okay. And why not 3, Dipali? Why it will not print 3? Because the range operation always executes till n minus 1. Okay, so I have given 3, it will execute to 3 minus 1, that is 2. So the answer is 0, 1, 2. Is that okay to everyone? You have to always remember that the range operation always works n minus 1. 1 come tak it works. Next is, what does the break statement do in Python? So what is the use of break statement in Python? Now anyone can answer. I was just making sure that you all are attending. What does the break statement do in Python?
Ma'am, it terminates the loop.
Exactly, it terminates the loop. So जब भी हम break statement देते हैं Python में, break statement वही दिया जाता है जहाँ looping construct है. हमारा कोई loop चल रहा है, कोई conditioning चल रही है, and we just want to break out of that. हम नहीं चाहते that if a certain condition meet, I do not want certain lines to get executed, so we can provide break. These are called loop control statements. We have done a few loop control statements like break, continue, pass. So the work of break statement is basically to terminate the loop. जैसे ही break encounter होगा, the execution will stop immediately and the compiler will come out of the loop to the very next line. ठीक है, loop से बाहर निकल जाएगा और उस loop के बाद का जो भी next line होगा, that will get executed. Perfect. What is the output of the following code? So you have a code in which there is a loop for I in range 5. If I is equals to 3. So equals to is the comparison operator. So if I is equals to 3, we break, otherwise we print I. So what will be the output of this loop?
0, 1, 2.
0, 1, 2. Yes, because as soon as the value of I will reach 3, it will encounter my statement to break the loop and it will come out of loop. And what is the loop here? The loop is false. So it will come out from here. So the answer is 0, 1, 2. What is the purpose of else statement in if condition? If के अंदर we give else, right? अभी हमने ऊपर भी देखा है, we have written else. Next question में भी है. So what is the use of else statement?
Ma'am, A.
A. Yes. So basically, what happens if I have an if, then we have I have given a flowchart in my PPT if you all remember. If condition evaluates to true, then the body of if will get executed. If the condition evaluates to false, then else will get executed. So the answer is A. It is executed if the condition is false. What is the output of the following code? So there is a line of code. You have to find out the output of this code.
Ma'am, B.
Okay, anyone else?
शायद error आएगा.
Error. Okay. Anyone else? Any other option? Okay, perfect. Let's see how exactly it will execute. So x equals to 5. So I have provided a value 5 to the x, right? Now in the next line, I'm checking if x is greater than 2. So compare. If 5 is greater than 2, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is greater than 2. So the condition is true. So I will come to the body of if. The body of if it's saying that pass. That if I is greater than 2, you simply have to pass. Pass does nothing. Pass क्या करता है? कुछ भी नहीं करता. So basically, if I is greater than 2, you have to do nothing. But since the condition is true, therefore else part will not get executed. So else वाले में तो हम कभी घुसेंगे ही नहीं because the condition is true. So since x is greater than 2, we have passed. We have just passed anything. We are not doing anything. We are just passing. Okay, fine. X is greater than 2. We'll go, move on. Now here else will not get executed. Else नहीं execute होगा तो ये वाला line execute नहीं होगा. Let print x is not equal to 0. यहाँ से pass से control कहाँ आएगा? बाहर. Out of the if condition. Out of the if condition, it will encounter a print statement. So it will print that statement. So the answer is B. That is done. Is that clear? MK, you gave an answer like error. Is that clear to you? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 18. What is the result of expression true and false in Python? Now you have an expression true and false. So what kind of operator is and? We have three operators, na? And or not. So what is the operator and does? The work of and operator is to verify that both the conditions are true.
Ma'am, it
So
will be
and
B.
exactly, it will be B. It will be false. Why it will be false? Because the work of and operator is to give the is to evaluate whether both the conditions are true or not. So here you have given the expression that it is true and false. So that is why it will evaluate to true and false is false. And only evaluates to true if both the conditions are true. Okay. Next is okay, fine. Also, इस तरीके के question में there can be one more type of question that can come. Rather than writing true and false, you can be given some expression over here. Let's say the expression is 5 is greater than 2 and 0 is less than -1. So here you have to find out कि उस expression की value true है या नहीं है. For example, अगर मैं लिखती हूँ 5 is greater than 2, then obviously that is true. But and के बाद I write कि 0 is less than something like this. If I write 5 is greater than 2, I give you a direct expression to compare rather than writing true and false. And then I want you to compare this. That so here you can see the first statement is true that 5 is greater than 2, but the second statement is false. Hence the answer will be true and false, that is false. Okay?
Ma'am, but ma'am, you
Hanji,
mentioned 2 greater than 1, so that is also true.
Sorry, I basically sorry for typo. I wanted to say 2 is less than 1. So basically the crux is that you may be given the direct condition, you may be given the expression to evaluate. Okay. In case of expression, you have to evaluate the expression and if the answer is true, it is true, otherwise it is false. Also, you may be given value like 1 and 0. So 1 in Python, 0 means false, any other value is true. Only 0 means false. So if I give you 1 and 0, the answer is false. But if I give 1 and 2, the answer is true. Okay. Okay, now let's move to next question. The question is, what are identifiers in Python?
Special keywords.
Okay,
No, ma'am. It
special
should be
keyword.
B.
Yes. Needed special keywords predefined by the Python are not identifiers. They are reserved keywords, right? They are not identifiers.
Okay, ma'am.
Next is, so the answer is B. Names used to identify variable. मतलब identifiers क्या होते हैं? Identifier special keywords नहीं होते. Identifier वो नाम होते हैं जो हम देते हैं किसी variable को, class को, function को. We have certain rules to name an identifier. हमारे पास rules हैं जैसे it cannot start with number or it cannot contain any special character except underscore. These rules are there, but these names are designed by us. They are not reserved. The reserved names are reserved keywords. Next, which of the following is a valid identifier in Python?
Option B.
Yes, option B. And why not the other option? Because in option A, it was the number which was given before, and that is the rule. You cannot give a number before the name of identifier. Identifier must start with a character. So 2 variable is wrong. Variable 2 would have been right. Then my underscore variable is fine because it contains one special character, that is underscore, that is permissible. Then the other two words, break and if, are the reserved keywords, and we cannot give identifiers the name of reserved keywords. Okay, so a valid identifier is B. Next, which of the following is a keyword in Python?
Ma'am, A.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So see, function and variable and list are not the valid keywords of Python. List is a data structure. Variable is just the identifier. A variable is just a variable, and functions, these are just the names of some constructs of Python. So the keyword that is available in Python is print. Next is, which of the following is a valid integer literal in Python? Which of them is a valid integer literal in Python? So do you understand what is literal? Literal is a fixed value. Okay. So it is a value that is going to be fixed and it will be used as it is. So literal is more or like constant. So अब हमने क्या पूछा है? All of them are literals. ये सारे literals हैं. But I am asking you which of them is a valid integer literal. So the integer literal is 42.
40.
Others are, this is a string literal, this is a float literal, this is a boolean literal. So the only integer literal here is C, that is 42. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is, what is a string literal in Python? Python में string literal क्या होता है?
Ma'am, A.
A, yes, a sequence of characters that is enclosed in double quotes. For example, hello. So this is a literal. If I'm not gonna change it, this is going to be a literal. Literal are just the values that we have provided, and we are going to use that values as it is. So it is not a reserved keyword. It is a moreover a defined sequence, right? It's not a predefined. It is defined by you. Next is, what is an operator in Python?
A.
Operators are basically special characters that are used for arithmetic or logical operations. So the special characters, the symbols that we use for operation like plus, minus, multiply are called operators in Python. Other options are a reserve for defining variables. No. a function. None of them is the correct. We can easily see that in this these options, the A1 is the most correct option. Now, next question: which operator is used for exponentiation in Python? So, if you have to raise an exponent, that is 5 raised to the power 2 or 3 raised to the power 2, what will you do?
Ma'am,
No,
A
option
option.
B.
Perfect. Sorry, which one you said? A.
Option B.
Now, the B. B is the answer. Yes, we use double star to raise the power. Okay. A is exponential character. हम generally symbolize करते हैं exponentiation को इससे, but the operator that is used in Python for exponentiation is double star. Next is, what is the result of 5 plus 3 into 2 in Python?
Ma'am, 11.
How come 11?
Option A, madam.
16. Okay. So now here, to find out the correct answer, we have to remember that I had told you that operators follow associativity. Okay, so then there is a level of precedence and associativity. So basically, if I talk about the precedence level, so the level of precedence, that is the value of precedence of multiply, is higher than addition. So first of all, it will do a multiplication of both the variables. So 3 into 2 will become 6. After that, it will add it. So 6 plus 5 will become 11. Okay, so this is how we evaluate a Python expression. This is provided in the supplementary notes that I have given you for lecture 1. So when we talk about expression evaluation, we have to follow the operator precedence and associativity rules. So that you must go through once, because evaluation के MCQs आते हैं कि किस तरीके से आप evaluate करोगे एक expression. Next is question 27. What is the result of 10 /3? So what exactly is 10 /3?
Ma'am, floor
Okay.
division. So answer should be B.
Exactly. So this is floor division and answer is B. Okay, question 28. What is the purpose of conditional statements in Python?
Ma'am, C.
Yes. Conditional statements का काम क्या होता है? The work of conditional statement is basically to make decisions based on certain conditions. So we have certain conditions based on which it gives us certain decisions. So C is the correct answer. Perfect. Next is, which keyword is used for conditional execution in Python?
B.
A. Conditional execution. Did you said A? For loop.
No, option B.
Condition B. Yes, B. If. Okay. Conditions के लिए we just have if. For and while are for looping construct. Also, else will not come because else has only existence if we have for the if. अगर हमारे पास if ही exist नहीं करेगा तो else exist नहीं कर सकता. इसलिए else is not the right answer. If is right answer. If is the starting point of any conditional execution. Next, question number 30. What is the purpose of loop construct statement in Python? Loop construct यानी कि loop की जो statement होती है for loop and all, इनका क्या purpose है?
Ma'am, C.
Yes. Sorry. क्या आंसर बताया आपने? What is the purpose of loop construct statements in Python?
C.
C. To execute a block of code based on a condition. Okay. तो बेसिकली हम पूछ रहे हैं कि लूप कंट्रोल स्टेटमेंट्स का क्या पर्पस होता है. पहले आप मुझे ये बताओ कि लूप कंट्रोल स्टेटमेंट्स कौन कौन सी है. पाइथन में लूप को कंट्रोल करने के लिए आपके पास कौन कौन सी स्टेटमेंट. ओके. सो बेसिकली पाइथन में लूप को कंट्रोल करने के लिए वी हैव द स्टेटमेंट्स लाइक ब्रेक, कंटिन्यू, पास. ठीक है ना. फॉर एंड व्हाइल तो लूप कंस्ट्रक्ट्स है, मतलब वो तो लूप को लिखने की स्टेटमेंट है. लूप को कंट्रोल करना है यानी कि कहाँ से मुझे ब्रेक करना है या मुझे लाइन को कंटिन्यू करना है या पास करना है, वो हमारे पास स्टेटमेंट्स है ब्रेक, कंटिन्यू एंड पास. सो इनका हमारी लूप कंट्रोल स्टेटमेंट्स का काम होता है कि जो भी हमारी करंट आइटरेशन चल रही है उसको टर्मिनेट कर दे प्री में, मतलब हमारी जो करंट आइटरेशन है उसको स्किप कर दे या टर्मिनेट कर दे. दैट इज द पर्पस ऑफ एनी लूप कंट्रोल. अदरवाइज जो लूप है वो स्मूथली चलेगा. इफ यू वांट टू डू सर्टेन checks or you want to stop them somewhere, then it is called. Next is, which loop control statement terminates the loop entirely?
ऑप्शन
कौन
ए.
सी स्टेटमेंट है. परफेक्ट. यस. ब्रेक कर दोगे तो लूप उसी वक्त टर्मिनेट हो जाएगा. Next, which loop control statement skips the current iteration and continue to the next iteration?
B.
Good. So continue is the statement that skips the current iteration and continues to the next iteration. What does the pass statement do in Python? Pass statement का क्या काम होता है?
ऑप्शन
Option D.
ऑप्शन सी.
Does not. नहीं. Continue तो continue statement से होता है.
मैम D.
नहीं.
Option
Skip
C.
the current line. Wait. Let me tell you. टर्मिनेशन जो होता है वो ब्रेक से होता है. करंट आइटरेशन को स्किप करके अगली आइटरेशन पे कंटिन्यू करना, दैट इज बी एंड सी बोथ आर डन यूजिंग कंटिन्यू स्टेटमेंट. एंड पास स्टेटमेंट डज नथिंग, वो सिंपल पास कर जाती है लूप. ठीक है, लूप या जो भी कंस्ट्रक्ट है उसको लोगे, इट डज नथिंग बेसिकली. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ एरर एंड एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग इन पाइथन. हम क्यों करते हैं एरर या एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग.
मैम B.
परफेक्ट. बी. ताकि हम एरर्स को ग्रेसफुली हैंडल करके प्रोग्राम को क्रैश होने से रोक सके. हम एक्सेप्शन या एरर को रोक नहीं सकते हैं, बट अब उनकी हैंडलिंग करके हम ग्रेसफुल मैसेजेस दे सकते हैं ताकि हम किसी भी तरीके का प्रोग्राम क्रैशिंग रोक सके. प्रोग्राम शुड नॉट गेट अब्रप्टली स्टॉप. ओके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 35. विच कीवर्ड इज यूज्ड टू हैंडल एक्सेप्शंस इन पाइथन. पाइथन में एक्सेप्शंस कैसे हैंडल करते हैं.
मैम C.
Yes. C. Except is the keyword that is used to handle the exceptions in Python. So, how are the questions till now? Are you able to do it? बाकी लोग भी, महिमा and नीरज के सिवा बाकी लोग भी, दीपाली and all, are you able to understand and do the questions? Yes. Are we able to do it or not? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा, मतलब बाकी लोग, दीपाली and NKG, are you there in the class, beta?
Yes, madam, we are there, but we are in office, madam.
Okay, no issues. I'm just asking that whether you are able to understand the questions or not.
Yes, madam, we are able to understand.
Okay, perfect. So this is the level of difficulty that will be asked from you. Okay, that is expected from you. So next question number 36. What is the purpose of try block in exception handling? Why do we need a try block during exception handling?
ऑप्शन ए.
It's A. to execute the code that may cause an exception. So basically, what we do in try block, we give that code, that block set of code that may create an error. So we give that code in try block so that if that code gives an error, we will go to the exception. Otherwise, it is well and good to do. So option A. Next is, what is a function in Python? So function is basically what? It is a block of code, right? Function is basically a block of code that performs a specific task. So in Python, functions is basically a block of code that performs a specific task. Next question. How do you define a function in?
Ma'am, A. Ma'am, I think it should be A.
Sorry, my headset got disconnected. So the next question is, how do you define a function in Python? So how exactly do we define a function in Python?
Option A.
Yes, option A. Using a def keyword. Perfect. Followed by the function name and the parameters. Next is, what is the purpose of parameters in function? Function में parameters का क्या काम होता है?
You specify the data type.
To specify the data type. Basically, no. Python में हम data type नहीं बताते हैं. Basically, function में parameters का काम होता है so that we can pass some values to the function. Okay. So the work of any parameters in Python function is basically to pass the values to the function. Whatever values we want to give to the function, we pass it using parameters. Next is, what is the function return? What does the function return if no return statement is specified? So if we have not given any return statement, what will the function return? It will return none. Okay, because you have not given any statement, so it will return the control back to the calling statement, but it will not return any value. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's discuss a few more things. I hope my screen is visible and you are able to see some questions on the screen. Is my screen visible, or shall I
Yes,
share
ma'am.
it again? It is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So you're able to see the questions on the screen. Perfect. So here, you have certain programs and you have the related codes. So let's do them. These are basically, since we are discussing questions for long, we'll discuss 20 MCQs later on. Let's do the programs first. So here, there is a question given and I have given the basic logic of the program. So what I want you is to see the program and understand the logic, and then any one of you can explain the logic to me. Otherwise, I will explain that what exactly is required. Okay. So the very first question is, count the even numbers. program to count the even numbers in a given range. So you have been provided a range from the user, that is, let's say from 1 to 100 or 1 to 10, and you have to count how many even numbers are there in that given range. So how will you do that? Try to write a program for it. Okay, कोड समझ आया? So let's do it. Basically, what I have done, I have given around 10 codes that are the most basic codes along with the answers to you so that you can practice it at home as well. Am I audible, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, starting from the very first question, इस question में हमें even numbers count करने हैं. So what exactly we are doing? हम यूजर से एक रेंज लेंगे. इन माय प्रोग्राम यू कैन सी दैट आई हैव रिटर्न स्टार्ट एंड एंड एज अ फिक्स नंबर. मैंने 1 to 10 ही लिखा है. But from you, let's say if this question comes, it is expected that you take input from the user. So always remember, whenever you are provided to write a program, it is expected that you take input from a user unless and until it is explicitly mentioned कि आप static input लो. Otherwise, always try to take input from the user. So if I had to take an input from the user, so here at start I would have written I would have called input function. हम input function को call करते हैं और उससे एक integer ले लेते हैं. So basically आप start और end values ले लेते हैं. Now since I have to count all the even numbers in this range, and I know that for loop के अंदर जो range function है वो एक n-1 तक चलता है. So I have to provide the start of the range and n+1. Okay. After that, I will check. हमने क्या check करना है कि number even है या नहीं. So to check whether the number is even or not, हम उसको 2 से divide करके उसका remainder check करेंगे. So modulo is the remainder operator. हमने क्या किया? हमने बोला जो भी number है. So the loop will start from the start and it will go till end. So number will pick one number from the range. That is, it will start from the start, then start +1, then start +2, then start +3, and so on. So यहाँ पे मेरा start का value 1 है. So num में सबसे पहले 1 आएगा. 1 modulo 2 will be 0. No, it will be 1. So 1 is not an even number. तो अगर num modulo 2 की condition true होती है, तभी मुझे even number है, वरना odd number है. So if this is true, then the number is even, then I will increment the count value. So this will execute for all the values of the loop. Once this is done, जब ये loop पूरा complete हो जाएगा, तो I will get all the numbers which are even in that count variable. So I can print the result, the count of even numbers between start this value to this value. So here the output will be count of number between 1 to 10 is, how many numbers do we have? 5. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and also I have written, I mean, you can write, अगर एग्जाम में ये कोड आता है तो आप as it is भी लिख सकते हैं, that is also good. अगर आप function बना के कोड लिखना prefer करते हो तो that also you can do. So it is totally a user's choice. I have tried to give you the very basic thing. ठीक है, basic ये है, इसके ऊपर आप कितना भी top up, कितना भी decoration करो, it is your choice. Passing, I mean, getting the input, writing the correct print statement is up to you. Giving comments to this code is also up to you. You can give comments to the code. Code commenting is a very good practice. So this is all on the user. The next, you have to print a multiplication table. So you just have to print a multiplication table, and this is the most simplest program. You just need to take a number from the user. You can take any number, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever number, and then you will run the loop. Since we always print table from 1 to 10, so we just print first 10 multiples of any number. So here you can write from the range for I in the range 1 to 11. Because the last number it does not get included, so it is 1 to 10, and you have to print what you have to print. You have to print x number. X is for the sign of multiplication, so it will print. Let's say for the value of I equals to 1, it will print 7 cross 1 equals to num into 1, that is 7. Then 7 cross 2 equals to 14, and so on. So it will print here the table like that. Is that clear? Are we sorted for the code?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So the next question is positive or negative number. You have to check whether a number given is a positive number, negative number, or a zero. So this is again very easy to check. You can take a number from the user. It may be any number. So you can give an input statement to the user. He will take the number. If the number is greater than zero, you will just check whether the number is greater than 0, equal to 0, or it is less than 0. So if both these conditions are false, then definitely number is less than 0. So here I'm checking if the number is greater than 0, then I'll print that it is a positive number. Else number is equals to 0, that means it's a 0. Else you have to print negative number. So such programs, you can see that these codes are very easy to execute. Also, again, a reminder that you can put these codes, these statements into a function and make a function and then call it. That is a far better practice. But why I have not given it? Because I am giving you the very basics that is required. इसको fancy करना is your task. So I hope this code is very much clear. बहुत ही easy सा code है. You just have to print negative numbers. Is that okay? So can you write a program to check whether a number is even or odd?
So it's pass of the previous one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I give you 5 minutes to quickly write the program to check whether a number is even or odd. Yes, class, are you able to do that? हुआ किसी से ये question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what will you write? Can you explain me? यहाँ से let's start. If I want to convert this program to check whether a given number is even or odd, what I will do? So what I'll do is basically yeah, please.
Ma'am, we can, first of all, we can allow the user to enter the number, and
Yes.
then we'll use the conditional statement of if else. If that, but like, for example, if we have selected that variable as a, so if a modulus 2 is equals to 0, then print a is even, else print a is odd.
Perfect. So let's just write the code, but Mahima is suggesting. I hope my screen is visible and further whatever I'm writing is visible. So let's take a number from the user, and we take a number from the user. We ask for input and we write that enter the number, right? This is how we take input.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Then after taking the input, I just have to write a small if function. I'll write if num, whatever number I have taken, if num modulo 2 is equals to 0. So if the number is divisible by 0, then I have to print even. Otherwise, if this is not the case, then I just have else. So it is not if elif ladder, it is just a two conditional statement. If this is true, then it is even, otherwise it is odd. So here I can write odd. So this is the program, right, Mahima?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So similarly, you can check whether a number is divisible by 7 or not, right? You can check whether a number is, let's say, whether a number is prime or not. All these things you can check using a simple for loop or using simple if else. Prime wala to I have given, I guess. Okay, so next question is you have to calculate the factorial of a number. ये हम already कर भी चुके हैं. I taught you this in the recursion, right? If you remember, I taught you that we can do this using recursion. So you have to calculate the factorial of a number. Basically, what is the factorial of a number? So when I talk about factorial of a number, let's say I need to find out the factorial of number 4, then factorial is equals to multiplication of numbers starting from the given number till 1. So this is 4 into 3 into 3 into 2 into 1. So factorial of 4 is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is what you are required to perform. Okay. So let's understand the code. So हमें code understand करने से पहले let's find out what exactly we require to do here. हमें एक loop चलाना है जो end तक चले, starting from 1 या end से लेकर 1 तक चले. Either forward motion हो या backward motion हो. If we are running a loop from 4 to 1, it will be decrementing every time. If we are running a loop from 1 to 4, it will be incrementing every time. Okay. So let's see. So what I said, I take a number. Okay, here you can take the number from the user. So we take a number from the user and initially, let's say factorial is 1. Okay, because the base value is 1. So let's say factorial is 1. Now what I have to do, I have to run a loop from, you can run it from number to 1 or we can run it from 1 to number plus 1 because number should be included in the multiplication. That is why we are running loop from 1 to number plus 1. In that loop, what exactly we want? We want whatever is the value in factorial, it should get multiplied with I. So basically how this is happening, it will run, the initial value of the loop will be 1 and factorial will be 1. So when I equals to 1, the answer will be 1 into 1, that is 1. After that, the value of I will be 2 and the value of factorial is 1. So this will be 1 into 2, that is 2. After that, the value will be 3, the value of I. So 3 into, sorry, I'm so sorry. This is the value of I. So it should be 2 into 1. So next, the value of I will become 3 and factorial has become 2. So 3 into 2, that is 6. Then in the next line, the I will have become 4. 4 into, again, the factorial, that is 6. So that is equals to 24. So now when the value of I will become 4, the loop will terminate because we have given num plus 1. तो I तक terminate होने के बाद ये output दे देगा मुझे 24. Factorial के अंदर आ गया होगा 24. We can print that in any of the manner which you prefer. You can directly print the factorial or you can give a statement with it that this is the factorial of the number and so. So I hope this program is clear, the factorial one.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Ma'am,
Hanji. Is there any doubt, beta? Shall we move further?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next question is sum of the digits. Program to find sum of the digits of a number. So what exactly I need? I need to, do the summing of all these digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, but the problem is this number is basically an integer. Okay. और integer के ऊपर iteration नहीं होता है. because integer is a whole clubbed form. Integer एक पूरा clubbed है. Iteration किसी भी iteratable object के ऊपर होता है. Iteratable object क्या होती हैं? String, list, tuple. जो हमारे डेटा टाइप्स है जैसे कि फ्लोट, इंटीजर, इन सब के ऊपर आइट्रेशन नहीं हो सकता. यानी कि अगर मैं यहाँ ये लिखूंगी फॉर डिजिट इन नंबर, तो ये नहीं चलेगा बिकॉज नंबर इज नॉट एन आइट्रेटेबल ऑब्जेक्ट. नंबर एक होल सोल इंटीजर है. It is read as a complete integer. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basically. It is 12,345. So to add all the digits, to calculate sum of all the digits of this number, I have to make this number as an iteratable object. And the very easiest way to do this is to convert it into the string type. This is called typecasting. So basically, I'm performing a small typecasting of this number to string. As soon as I convert this number to string, the interpreter will read this number as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each digit will be read as an individual character. So this is what you want. But once you read it as a character, and if you try to write, let's say 1 plus 1. So as soon as this becomes a character, it will not get added, it will get concatenated. Right? जब हम strings की बात करते हैं तो concatenation शुरू हो जाता है. तो इसको ओवरकम करने के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? वापस स्ट्रिंग को नंबर बनाना पड़ेगा. So this is the only trick in this question. Otherwise, it is a very simple question. तो हमने क्या किया? हमने एक नंबर ले लिया. हम यूजर से भी ले सकते हैं. Why I have taken the static input so that it is clear to you कि किस तरीके का input मुझे चाहिए. So we have a number with the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and sum of the digit is 0. Initially हमने digits के sum को 0 कर दिया है. So for digits in string num, so I have converted this number to the string so that हम इसके ऊपर iterate कर सकें. So अब ये loop क्या करेगा? Digit में हर बार एक एक digit pick करके लाएगा. So the first digit will be 1. But the only problem is that this 1 will be in a character format, not in the number format. So but मुझे तो addition करवाना है. I need a proper integer addition. So what I have done, I have written that sum of digits is equals to प्लस दैट इज इंक्रीमेंट. जो भी सम की पहली वैल्यू है उसमें इंक्रीमेंट कर दो. दिस इज अ कॉम्पोजिट ऑपरेटर, राइट? इंक्रीमेंट कर दो क्या? इंटीजर ऑफ डिजिट. तो डिजिट का जो भी इंटीजर, 1 का इंटीजर क्या होगा? 1. 2 का इंटीजर क्या होगा? 2. सो इट विल जस्ट ऐड इट. इज दैट प्रोग्राम क्लियर? प्लीज टेक 5 minutes एंड रीड दिस प्रोग्राम अगेन. ठीक है, इसमें हल्का सा नया कॉन्सेप्ट है, सो प्लीज रीड दिस अगेन एंड लेट मी नो इफ इट इज क्लियर और नॉट. हाँ जी बच्चे, प्रोग्राम समझ आ गया सबको? आर यू एबल टू ग्रास्प प्रोग्राम नंबर 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Next is we have to check whether a number is prime or not. So you have to check whether the given number is prime or not. So before checking whether number is prime or not, let's understand the definition of it. So the definition says that a number is prime if it is divisible. If it is divisible by 1 and itself only. अपने से या 1 के सिवा ये किसी और नंबर से divisible नहीं होना चाहिए, right? We have all studied this definition in our primary school, I guess. So basically, if I need to check whether 7 is prime or not, I need to check whether it is divisible by 1 and 7 only. Also, we know that a number is maximum divisible by its half. So if it is not divisible by 3.5, or let's say 4, then it is prime. So with this logic, in this program, what we have done, हमने एक number लिया user से, ठीक है? हमने बोला is prime is equals to true. हमने एक flag बना दिया. It is nothing. It is simple variable. एक variable है जिसका नाम मैंने is prime दे दिया. Just to make it a flag. So we have a flag within which I have said is prime true. क्या ये number prime है? तो basically initially हम मान के चले कि yes the number is prime. अब हमें check क्या करना है? We have to run a loop and we have to check whether that number is divisible. From starting from 2, कहाँ तक मुझे divisibility check करनी है? Till half of the number. So see, this loop is doing that only. ये 2 से start हो रहा है, starting from 2, and it will go till what? Till number into 0.5, right? So number के half तक जाएगा, integer of number raised to the power 0.5, number के half तक जाके, और what it will do? It will basically run till half, and if the number modulo I, that is if number anywhere between 2 to half of the number it is divisible, then it will be 0. Otherwise, I mean, if it is divisible, then it will be false, that it is not prime. Otherwise, the number is prime. So after completing this loop, my is prime flag will tell me whether the number is prime or not. अगर वो फ्लैग बीच में कभी भी अगर नंबर डिविजिबल हुआ होगा तो ये फ्लैग फॉल्स हो गया होगा. अगर एक बार भी नंबर डिविजिबल हो गया तो दैट सर्व्स आवर पर्पस, दैट मींस नंबर इज नॉट प्राइम, सो इट विल टर्न द फ्लैग टू फॉल्स. सो इफ इट इज प्राइम, you can, मतलब if the flag is still true after completing the loop, that means the number is prime, it was not divisible by any other digit. If it is not like after completing the loop, if the flag is false, then the number is not prime. Okay. Now you have to write a program to check the leap year. Write question number 7. Try to do it.
Ma'am, this will also be similar to the like even odd program. Only we have to use the modulus operator, and since it is a leap year, so it should be divisible by 4.
Yes. Perfect. So see, this is the code. So if the year modulo 4 is equals to 0 and year modulo 100 is not equals to 0, or year modulo 400 is equals to 0, then this is a leap year. So now what you have to do, we all know the logic of leap year. So you have to basically see this program and interpret why I have written so many conditions in this program. That's the homework, right? So in next question, you can see you have to print a pattern. You have been given a pattern and you have to print it. So such questions I have already told, you can get a lot of patterns in these questions. You may get stars, you may get 1, 2, 3, 4, or there are many other patterns. So for this pattern, we just have this. We have an I in range 1 to this rows plus 1, and I just have to print the number of stars. First row है तो 1 star है, 2 rows है तो 2 star है, 3 है तो 3 star है. So what I have done, I have simply converted this star to a string and I have multiplied it with the row number, because whatever is the row number, उतने ही number of stars print होने. So we converted it into a string and multiply it, so it will repeat as the string multiplication and we will get our desired output. Next is Fibonacci series. You have to print a Fibonacci series up to n terms. So do you all know what is Fibonacci series? Hello. Do you all know what is a Fibonacci series class?
यस मैम, जो नेक्स्ट नंबर होता है वो उससे पहले वाले नंबर्स का सम होता है.
Okay, and what about others? Are others aware of Fibonacci series? Neeraj, Dipali?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, a Fibonacci series is, let's say the first value is 0 and the next value is 1. So the next value will be 0 plus 1, that is 1. Then the next value will be 1 plus 1, that is 2. Next value will be sum of last two values, that is 2 plus 1, that is 3, and so on. So here, if we have given n equals to 10 and AB, that is the first two values are initial values, base case of Fibonacci series, and that has to be very static. So it is 0 and 1. So what I'll do is, for any variable, so this is called an unnamed variable, right? You can use a looping variable, that is also okay. मैं यहाँ I भी लिख सकती थी, unnamed भी दे सकती थी, because I'm not going to use this in my loop, so it is very fine. So what I'm doing, I'm just moving it in a range, and then I'm printing the values. Okay, the value of A, and every time after printing the value of A, what I'm doing is I am putting the value of B into A. So I'll print this value, then I'll move this. Okay, what I'll move is this will become my new A, the next value will become A, this will become B. Okay, so every time I will print A, and then I will assign this value to A and sum of next values to B. So this way we are moving ahead. So this is the most basic logic of Fibonacci series. Although if exam you get such series like Fibonacci या किसी भी और series का आपको sum निकालने को आता है, तो आपको proper example भी दिया जाएगा. ठीक है? You will get an example that this kind of series आपको generate करनी है. For example, आपको n numbers का sum आता है कि n numbers user से लेके उसका sum दे दो, या n numbers user से लेके उनके halves का sum दे दो, right? So last program of the day, you have to check whether a given string is palindrome or not. So basically, to check whether a given string is palindrome or not, what exactly we have to do? We have to, in Python, it is very easy. किसी और language में you would have to write a complete loop to do this. Python में it is very easy. Python में अगर string is equals to string reverse of the string. Okay, so this is the process to do reverse of the string. What I am trying to do is trying to move to the first of the string starting from the end. So if my string is equals to reverse of string, then it is a palindrome. Otherwise, it's not a palindrome. So Python it is easier to do. Is that okay? So such are the kind of practical questions that may come into your practical as well as theory exam में इस level की difficulty के questions आपको आ सकते हैं, and I hope this level of difficulty is not very rocket science. आप लोगों की reachable difficulty है ये, आप लोग कर पा रहे हैं questions. So this kind of questions you may get for the practical exam. Now let's discuss the remaining 20.
Ma'am, just ma'am, what have you written after if string double equals to string? In the square brackets, you have used double colon. So
Yes, we have given the slicing, right, from -1 back to 0. Okay.
Is there a term? Yeah.
Yes, Mahima, you can do two things, right? आप string को पहले string को -1 index से दूसरे string में save कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Otherwise, you can check it like this only. This is nothing. It is just reading the string from reverse, reading the string from -1 to beginning. This is -1 to beginning. This is called reverse indexing. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, so let's do the last 20 questions of the day, and then you can ask your doubts. So the next question is, what are default arguments in the Python function? What are the default arguments in the Python functions? So default arguments are basically arguments that are optional and have default value. So you provide a default value to these arguments and they're optional. I mean, that means you may or may not provide the value of these arguments during the call of the function. But provided you have given some default values to these arguments. So we have already covered default parameters in my class. You can refer that. Next is, which of the following is a valid function definition with default argument in the Python? So कौन सी है इनमें से valid function definition with default argument? Any guesses? थक गए सारे? Right? Okay, no issues. Let's see. So what exactly is default argument? We need to give that this is the default value, right? So हमें एक parameter name के आगे एक default value देनी होती है. So this is, हमारे पास एक parameter name होता है और हम एक default value दे सकते हैं. Although this is an ambiguous question because here it is not written that default signifies the default value. ठीक है ना? So but still C is the correct way. That means I can give, I mean, you may have got options like this as well, that def my function, let me update the, it's here only, def my function, and then you may have given a default value. So something like this. Okay. So let me update the options of this function that are more relevant to you. So these are the 4 definitions, and out of this, now you can, I guess, easily find out that what is the correct definition. The C one is the correct definition. This is more appropriate for you. No issues. Okay. So this is the default argument, correct way of giving a default argument. Next question number 43. What is the output of the following code?
A.
Yes, A. Why exactly A? So here you can see that we have given the function greet. We have defined a function greet with a default value as world. So if user does not provide anything, as I'm not providing anything in the greet, the answer is hello world. What would have happened if I had written this over here? अगर मैं यहाँ पे ये Python लिख देती तो क्या आउटपुट आता? It would have been B. मेरा डिफॉल्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट ओवरराइट हो जाता विद द वर्ड पाइथन. सो यहाँ पर हेलो पाइथन लिखा हुआ आ जाता रादर देन हेलो वर्ल्ड. ओके, बट करेंटली दिस इज द करेक्ट आंसर. What is the primary purpose of a string in Python?
B.
String. Yes, it stores a sequence of. Yes, the primary purpose of string is to store a sequence of characters. Which of the following data type in Python is mutable? कौन सा data type mutable है?
C option.
C option, yes, list. So list is the mutable data type. String, tuple, and set are not mutable. What is the correct syntax for creating a list in Python?
Option A.
A.
Option A. Perfect. Yes. List is created using a square bracket. This is a set. This is a tuple. Okay. Which of the following data type in Python is represented by curly braces?
C.
Yes. Set. ठीक है. What is the correct syntax for creating a dictionary in Python? Oh, नीचे तो आंसर ही दे दिया है. So bad. हटा देते हैं. चलो अब तो तुम्हें पता ही चल गया कि what is the answer. Let's just mark it. It's G. Next is, which of the following operation is not supported by sets in Python? Set में इन सब में से कौन सा ऑपरेशन नहीं हो पाता है?
Concatenation.
Concatenation of set is not possible. Right. Which of the following method is used to remove an element from a list in Python?
Option A.
Option A. Yes. Remove is the function that is used to remove an element from the list. So you can give my list dot remove and the index. 51. What is the primary purpose of object-oriented programming?
Ma'am, code reusability. Option
Yes.
B.
Option B. Which of the following is not a principle of object-oriented programming?
D.
Yes, linear programming is not a principle. Okay, we have certain pillars. We have 4 pillars: inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, and polymorphism. Now 53. What is a class in Python? Class क्या होता है?
Ma'am, C.
C. Class is basically a template to create the objects. क्या बात है सिर्फ महिमा और नीरज ही पढ़ रहे हैं? What is an object in Python?
Ma'am, B.
Okay, object is an instance of a class. So object, I have already told. Object is basically what? When we instantiate a class, when we give a particular value to something, some variables of the class, then it becomes an object. Next is, what is the inheritance in object-oriented programming? Inheritance क्या होता है?
Ma'am, C.
Inheritance याद है? We used to inherit. I told you an example that we used to inherit the characteristics of our father or our parents or our elders. So it is a way to define a new class based on an existing class. Existing class के कुछ parameters, कुछ characteristics को inherit करके हम एक नई class बनाते हैं. For example, हम vehicle class से car बना रहे हैं and so on. ठीक है ना? Next question number 57. What is polymorphism in object-oriented programming? Polymorphism क्या होता है?
Ma'am, C.
तो बेसिक हाँ सी. पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म मतलब एक किसी भी फंक्शन को ऐसी एबिलिटी दे देना जो मल्टीपल काम कर सके. ठीक है ना? पॉली मीन्स मल्टीपल काम कर सके. दैट इज पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म. विच कीवर्ड इज यूज्ड टू डिफाइन अ मेथड इन पाइथन? ये तो बहुत इजी है. डेफ. राइट? डेफ इज द कीवर्ड. मेथड डिफाइन करना है, यू हैव टू राइट डेफ. क्लास डिफाइन करनी है, डेफ. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अ पिलर ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग?
Recursion.
59. हाँ, रिकर्जन. कॉम्पोजिशन भी नहीं है वैसे तो. सॉरी, पे एब्स्ट्रैक्शन होना था. सो द ऑप्शन इज रॉन्ग. आई एम सॉरी. लेट्स राइट. अब ये क्वेश्चन ज्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट है, राइट? लास्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 60. Which of the following is not a benefit of object-oriented programming? कोड परफॉर्मेंस पे कोई असर नहीं पड़ता. आप क्लासेस बनाओ या ना बनाओ, कोड की परफॉर्मेंस पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सिर्फ किस चीज पे फर्क पड़ता है? कोड की रीयूजेबिलिटी पे, रीडेबिलिटी पे और सिक्योरिटी पे. ठीक है? कोड की परफॉर्मेंस पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता क्लासेस का. So it is not the benefit of object-oriented programming. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now that's all for the revision class. आपको मैंने सारे type of questions करा चुकी हूँ. Theory questions we discussed in last class. We discussed a lot of questions that may come in the paper. मतलब the kind of questions that do come in the paper. आइए, मतलब that is your internal assessment is MCQ based. तो ये जो मैंने आपको ये 60 question कराए हैं, that is a sample set. And I hope the difficulty level is okay for you guys, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. हाँ, I can see you were able to answer. That means अगर आप पढ़ रहे हैं तो that means you will be able to answer. So that is a good thing, a very positive thing for me. उसके बाद programs also, I think you were able to get the logic instantly. आपको logic के लिए कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा thinking या मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं थी. Logic was very clear from the programs. So this kind is the pattern for your exams. You have any other doubt? We can stay in the class. Others who don't have doubt can leave the class. I'll be sharing all this material on the group. ठीक है ना? Including the last class material, the comprehensive revision, that material I'll be updating a little and then I'll share. Otherwise, this material, these two files I'll share right now. उस वाले में थोड़े questions के solutions missing है, so I'll add those solutions and then share it. For these two, I'll share it right now. Is that okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Email.
Okay, madam. Thank you,
Okay,
madam.
fine. So thank you so much. Okay. See you again. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.